The 5.5-inch phones coming in and around the price range of 10,000. There are a lot of phones now, and one such phone is the Lenovo A7000. This is GK from TechPP.com doing the detailed review of the Lenovo A7000. So let's talk about the different aspects that come with the phone. The design. This is a 5.5-inch screen phone that comes at 720p and 267 ppi. So overall, this looks like the norm in all the phones that come at this price range and 5.5 inches. There is no protection in the form of Gorilla Glass or anything as such. The overall design, this does resemble the Lenovo A6000, the predecessor. Looks more like an elongated one. The buttons at the right here, the power and the volume rockers, are made of real good quality metal and give really good tactile feedback. And we do have the capacitive buttons at the bottom here, but they do not light up, and that's one of the things that we've been seeing in most of the budget phones. And the back cover is made of plastic, but it is not slippery and not as prone to smudges and dust and fingerprints, or it doesn't get as greasy as we've seen on the other phones. And under the hood, what we have is the 2900 mAh battery and the dual SIM, that one of which can take the 4G SIM, and the internal memory is 8 gigabytes, and it can also take 32 GB external memory in the form of a micro SD, and it also has the 2 GB RAM. And powering this is the 8 megapixel camera at the back with dual LED, and the front has a 5 megapixel camera. So overall design, it's decent. It's just as basic as it would get, owing to the price point also. So powering this phone is the Vibe UI 3.0 that is built off Android Lollipop. Overall, the performance is smooth. We did not find any lags or stutters, and it looks like it's been optimized. But one of the key mentions that I would love to make here is it comes with a lot of preloaded apps, and what that does is of the 8 GB that is provided, you're left with something really close to 4 GB. So you might have to spend a lot of time in removing a lot of games that comes pre-installed. But having said that, there are a lot of improvements that Lenovo has made. The one department where it's brought in a lot of improvement is the themes. Now, we saw only 1 or 2 in the previous version of the Vibe UI, but now there are at least 6 to 7 themes coming here, and you can also customize in terms of the wallpapers, the icons, and so on. And the one that I have here is not the default one. I'll probably switch this to the default one and show you how it comes. So this is one of the other themes. So overall, the icons are not really appealing, still look like draft. They try to increase the icon size, and if you see the share it icon here, it's slightly pixelated, so that's not something which you want to see. It doesn't come off as very refined, but they're moving progressively. And when you compare this with the other phones that come in the price range in the form of the Xiaomi Redmi Note and the Eureka that come on the MIUI and the Cyanogen OS respectively, the Vibe UI has still got a long way to go. So that is about the Vibe UI, and it's customary that for example, the toggle menu that you have here is so very crowded as compared to the other ones that we've found, and there is no option for you to kind of edit this and kind of play around with the options that you want to see versus that you don't want to see. So that's another gripe, or maybe a nitpick. So the processor on this device is the MediaTek 6752, the true quad-core processor clocking at 1.5 GHz that works in tandem with the 2 GB RAM that we have here, and it's regarded as a better processor as compared to its predecessors, and that is what we see here as well. We didn't find any performance lags and things like that. So overall, it's a satisfactory thing, but it could play into the minds of many others because the other phones that come in the price range have the Qualcomm Snapdragon, but it's up to the individuals to take that call. In terms of the battery, when we compare this phone with the other phones like the Xiaomi Redmi Note and the Eureka, this comes somewhere above Eureka and slightly below the Redmi Note. So you can expect close to a day of battery backup even with intensive usage, but that's what it is. You cannot really expect great battery performances, but satisfactory. Very close to something what the Redmi Note gives, which is sort of a benchmark when it comes to the battery life and phones of this price range. In terms of the audio quality, we saw the tiny speaker that comes here. Though it looks tiny, it's loud enough, and you would not have any problems when you're playing loud songs or playing videos or having earphones plugged in. And in terms of enhancement to the audio itself, the phone comes with the Dolby Atmos. So using this, you can turn this on and kind of play around with the treble, the bass, the volume, and try to get enhanced output. And that is especially very good when you're plugged in with your earphones. And in terms of the call quality, at times I did feel the voice was slightly feeble, and the signal reception was strong. On contrary, when we compare it with the Xiaomi Redmi Note and the Eureka, this comes off as the better one in signal reception, but in terms of the audio quality, slightly lesser than the one on the Redmi Note. And in terms of the gaming, we did not experience any lags or anything of that sort when we are playing something which is lightweight games to medium games. But when you take it to the extent of playing Asphalt and things like that, it really starts struggling. But there was no heating observed, overheating or uncomfortable heating observed. But it does start, struggling a lot, and there was one instance where the Asphalt really crashed as well. So this should be just for Candy Crush, the Subway Surfers, the Temple Run, and probably the real racing to a certain extent. And you really cannot expect much, especially at this price range. And in terms of the camera, we have the 8 megapixel shooter at the back and the 5 megapixel shooter at the front. And I'll just flash some samples. There's nothing really great about the camera, but it's just that it has different modes. If you especially see the panoramic mode here, the stitching is not that really great. If you see the 3 different points here where it's trying to stitch, this looks like a paper that has been unfolded. You can see the mark here, so that is where it really fades. And the light condition here, if you see, the exposure is not handled properly, and if you start zooming in, the quality starts deteriorating. And even though the color reproduction is okay, satisfactory, nothing really bad, or it's not oversaturating, but overall it is satisfactory. And you can see the night shots here are a complete washout. So when you compare this with the cameras on the other phones in the same price range, the one that is there on the Redmi Note is a very good one, and also 13 megapixel, and the one on the Eureka is also 13 megapixel, and those really smoke the one on the Lenovo A7000. So if you're looking for a very good camera phone, this might not be it. So summing it up, overall, why would you look at this phone? First thing is the price range, 8,999 INR. It's got a very good build quality, and it's got a very decent battery life, and also the audio output. But if you're looking for a very good camera performance, if you're looking for a very good operating system like the MIUI, which is very refined now, and also the CyanogenMod, which is elusive, then probably this is not the phone for you. And we also have other options in form of the Honor 4X, but that goes upwards of 10,000 slightly. So it's up to you. If you're looking for a very good, if you're looking for a phone that has very good build quality and very good sound output, it comes at 8,999. Probably this is the phone, but not otherwise. Hope the review was useful to you. Do hit the subscribe button and do post any questions that you might have. Until the next one, this is GK from TechPP.com signing off. Bye bye.